Hello everyone and welcome to the Knit Kazuki Knits podcast. My name is Katie and this is episode 42 and I have Dahlia right here, which is why I started recording as soon as possible because she was right here. She was sitting in the window behind me a few minutes ago like mewing and chatting, so I figured it was a good time to start. I would like to say hello to any new and returning viewers. Thanks so much for joining me. The subscription numbers have gone up quite a bit in the last couple weeks, so thanks so much for subscribing on YouTube as well. I do really appreciate it. Helps me get my butt sat down to record every week. As you may have noticed, I am recording on Wednesday again. It is September 7th, 2016. And I will be recording, I think, on Wednesdays from now on. The only exception to that might be right around Knit City, simply because of scheduling there, because I'll be on a ferry on Wednesday, so I might record on the Monday directly after Knit City. But what's been happening is I've just been super tired on Tuesdays. They're always really busy, even for dropping Dallas off early and then going to pick him up in the afternoon. It's just, it conflicts too much. So I'm going to try to be recording on Wednesdays instead, on a more regular basis. So let's get right into it. I don't actually have much to talk about this week. I didn't get a lot of knitting done. It was one of those weeks where I didn't plan much, but it just got really busy. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in chatter, but I did get a bit of knitting done. I started last week, actually. This will go this way. A mitered square blanket from Sock Scraps. So I'm using the formula that Mina Phillip of the Knitting Expat uses. It's 49 stitches with a central double decrease. And the first square was this one, which is Biscotte and Sea Tangfish. On their Felix self-striping. I think it's an 80% merino, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. Then I knit this square, which is Zitron Drakelang, which is a mix of a whole bunch, including bamboo. So this was my first pair of socks. This was a yarn that I used in a My Hope by La La Knits. This one is Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock in their slate colorway, which was a pair of socks for Dallas. And I think I knit those while I was recording the podcast. I made some simple Skype socks. It's also a honeymoon yarn, so it's nice to be able to put it in my blanket. And then this is more recent yarn that I use. This is Cascade Heritage Paints, I believe, in the Berries colorway. And it's I don't remember the combination, but I used it for a pair of mittens for the sample for the Ridge for Your Pleasure collection. And then the Progress Keeper is one of mine that I made because it has, I don't know if it's going to focus on that. Oh, it might. It has Paris, London, and then Tokyo. So of course I need to keep it because it says Tokyo. I will have one more of those that I'll be able to offer at Knit City. I'm still debating if Progress Keepers are going to go directly into the shop, simply because there's so many of them. And that's a lot of photos, but if they do, I will definitely let you know. So that was one work in progress. I did get like 1 or 2 rows done on the sleeve of my Ginny's cardigan, but not much else. So I will show that to you again once I've finished the sleeves, and then go back to the yoke, or to the sweater itself. So the other work in progress, and I actually did get quite a bit of work done on these. I think I just turned I can't remember if I just turned the heel or not, and I'm sorry, I don't actually have a Progress Keeper on this. Why I have a Progress Keeper on the blanket is because I need to be able to see if it's right side or wrong side. Anyway, so I'm knitting another pair of Ridged for Your Pleasure socks because the sample ones Dallas has worn quite a few times and they're getting fuzzy, and I didn't want fuzzy socks from Knit City. So this is another sample, and it's being knit out of Ancient Arts Yarns merino nylon fingering. It's an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon in their Eiffel Tower colorway. Now, this is not a colorway I would normally pick for myself, but it's gorgeous in the cake, and it's really gorgeous in the sock. So like I knit the foot in stockinette because so that the patterning doesn't get like irritating in the shoe. and it's actually a really subtle patterning, although you can see it there actually compared to the foot quite well. So this is a pattern that I released earlier this year, and I'm knitting a sample so that people can see what they look like at Knit City, which I keep realizing I actually need to print patterns for it so that I can actually offer it at Knit City instead of knitting the pattern and then not having them available. So I should get my button gear for that too and get them actually printed. So that's all I worked on all week in 5 minutes, including some kitty interaction. I'm trying another different setup. We just moved the tree here because we actually put all of my show stuff in where the tree was, kind of in a nook right by our stairs going upstairs. So I figured, whatever, I'll record against the window, then I don't have a whole bunch of glare off my glasses. And then you get a pretty tree behind me too. So there's still 2 cals going on right now that I'm actively, well, hosting, I guess, not participating in because I can't participate in my own cals. But, sorry I'm umming a lot. Apparently I'm out of practice this week. There's the Canada Cal happening in the Nekozuki Knits group, and that runs until September 30th. And all the rules are there. There's a few too many just to list off right now, but make sure to go check out the Ravelry thread, and you can enter your projects. There's lots of really cool prizes. There's a couple bags, some yarn, and that'll be drawn just before Knit City. And then the other cal is the Knit City cal itself, which I'm hosting and running in the Knit Social group. Actually, it's in the Knit City group. Keep saying Knit Social, but it is actually Knit City Vancouver on Ravelry. And that will actually be linked in the show notes, posted in my Ravelry group as well, so you can just direct link to it. Definitely worth taking a look there. It's got some marketplace passes. We've got a yarn prize, and then we do also have a bit of Knit City swag as well. And that will be closing on September 15th. I think at this point it will still close on the 15th, and then I will be making the draw on the 15th. I will hot link everybody in the draw and then announce them on the podcast on the 21st as well. Just because then that gives everybody a couple weeks to get everything sorted out. And sorry, I was just looking at the calendar to make sure that I wasn't completely off my rocker, but I think that's how it's going to go. Right now, I'm not really reading anything. I was working on... Oh no, I finished A Torch Against the Night. I really enjoyed that. I finished it in about 2 days. And then I started another series, and I'm just not engaged at all. But Empire of Storms just came out, so I think that'll be one that I pick up and read. But it's going to be another really fast read. Angie's Hip actually suggested a book series last week, and unfortunately I don't know the title off the top of my head, but I will definitely take the suggestion and see if my library has them. And if you guys have any suggestions, I would really appreciate it. I do prefer the higher aged, like young adult, so like the 15 plus young adult. I do also like fantasy stories, so if you know anything kind of in that area, I would love to hear it. Yeah, I'm pretty much game to try anything at least. So other than that, it's been a really quiet week. Like, I didn't plan very much. I had dinner with a couple friends. One's actually heading to Edinburgh for her PhD, so that's she heads out on Friday, which is fantastic for her. But it's sad because quite a few of my friends have moved away recently, and it makes me want to go. As much as I love being at home, I am slightly jealous, although I'm not really jealous that she's going to go do her PhD, because I keep thinking, I'm like, yeah, university season, and then I'm like, oh, thank goodness I'm not in university right now. I love learning, but I'm glad to have my business established as well. So yeah, I hope that she does well. She's there for 3 years, so I have a feeling we'll try and get there in a couple, but we'll see how that goes too. So excellent reason to go, and I did tell her that if we came over, we'd be coming over for the Edinburgh Yarn Festival for sure. So yeah, really, it was just generally busy. I ended up doing a lot of different things that I wasn't planning at the beginning of last week. The one thing I did want to chat with you all about is at Knit City we are doing a podcaster meetup on the Saturday night. That is, all the information is in the Ravelry thread for that as well, and I will confirm it next week. Pretty sure I said 5:30. It's at the pub in the Atrium Inn, which is the Pressbox pub. At least it was last year. And I said, I think, to run until 6:30 or 7, just so like it gives a chance for the vendors to get there. And then for people that are participating in the Yarn Harlot talk that night, which I am, to get time to get over to the forum as well. And obviously, like, if you're there early or you're there later, whatever, but that's when I'm planning to be there myself. For food, basically stuff my face and go. And hopefully visit with some people, podcasters and viewers alike. So this is open to everyone, not just the podcasters. So it would be awesome to see you all if you can't make it down to the marketplace. It's also a little bit better chance to chat instead of if it's really busy in the booth too. Because I always feel really bad between chatting. Like, I love chatting to you all, but also that, like, if someone else comes in is waiting too. So I'm like always trying to balance that. And so this meetup afterwards is definitely the best like place to come and have a chat. So yeah, I hope to see you either in the marketplace, which is fantastic, and I understand not everybody can make it, but it would be really awesome to be able to see you on the Saturday night. I will have my buttons, so yeah, if you can or have the time or the ability, please stop by. And then that brings me into shop news. So this is another super short, and I don't have to paste all the videos together. If you don't want to hear about shop news, I will talk to y'all next week. And thanks for joining me. But if you want to hear about it, what's basically happening is the next shop update will be September 17th. I will confirm the time next week because that's when I will show you everything that will be in it. It will be obi bags, it will be needle stashes, and it will be notions pouches. I have made the decision that I probably won't have, at least I won't have many, I may not have any actually, vinyl bags, just because they're a little bit fiddly and I need to be able to streamline the process a bit better. But what I'm working on this week is needle stashes and notions pouches and spindle bags actually. So that's a new addition as well. So yeah, I'll show you all the product next week, and then anything new I will show right before I go to Knit City as well. Again, the shop will be closed. Sorry, I'm just checking. The shop will be closed from September 28th to October 4th or 5th. I think it actually works out to be, yeah, I'll be reopening on the 4th, I think, because the 5th again is Fairy and Victoria Day, and I won't have much time to actually work on it. So I'll see what I can do on the 4th. It'll at least be partially back up and running at that point, with probably more added throughout that week. So yeah, anyway, that's really it. So not very much knitting's happening, obviously, in this last kind of mad dash to the end for the shop, and for the show, more for the show. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic week, and I will chat to you next Wednesday again. So thanks so much. Bye.